Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with TP-Link. Today's hosts are Glenn Lenore, their Territory Account Manager, as well as Kevin Din, their B2B Test Engineer, and they're both with us today and making the presentation. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Glenn and Kevin will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Glenn and Kevin, thank you so much for being with us today. We greatly appreciate your time. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Thank you. Thank you, Microcom, for having us back again and talk more about TP-Link Omada. Again, my name is Glenn Lenore, B2B Territory Manager for the West here at TP-Link. I also have Kevin Din, Test Engineer for the B2B team. He'll help us out with any technical questions. So today I'd like to introduce what we have for a multi-gigabit solution for a B2B channel. But before anything, I'd like to start by providing more on who TP-Link USA is, how TP-Link B2B supports the channel through our partner distributors like Microcom. And I also want to provide a quick recap on Omada SDN, its features, and provide some new updates for our SDN roadmap. Also, the main reason why you joined us, right, to showcase what TP-Link Omada offers for integrators with managed hardware that supports multi-gigabit fiber deployments. We'll go over multi-gigabit solution hardware that's available today, products that are coming in the next 6 months, and then also we launched a new TP-Link Omada demo kit program, and we'll give you information on how your dealers can get these Omada NFR kits for half the cost of MSRP. And then, of course, a Q&A to answer all questions after our presentation. All right. So TP-Link USA is based in Irvine, California, and has been in U.S. operations since 2005. For 12 consecutive years, TP-Link has been recognized as the world's #1 brand for consumer Wi-Fi devices. But customers are not aware that for 4 consecutive years, Gartner has recognized TP-Link B2B as an enterprise wired wireless LAN infrastructure as a niche player. We try to, in the B2B realm, we try to pursue excellence and explore possibilities. And we do this by supporting our dealers and integrators through our channel partner distributors. We offer pre-sale support with marketing and training opportunities, as well as deployment advisors and a professional support team like Kevin. But we also operate as an in-house manufacturer with 4 facilities. We maintain high standards and strict cost control on every component. And the only thing that we source from a third party is our chipsets, which are Broadcom and Qualcomm chips. We also have a long product warranty for up to 5 years on our Omada controllers, routers, switches, and indoor access points, and 2 years for our outdoor switches and APs, as well as accessories. So for TP-Link Omada, what TP-Link Omada is actually the Greek word for team, right? TP-Link Omada is a smarter end-to-end cloud solution dedicated for the small to medium-sized businesses networking. Omada SDN's platform integrates network devices, providing 100% centralized cloud management to create a highly scalable network. Access points, switches, and routers are among the devices that can be controlled from a single interface. Back in July, we went over the controller and how you can manage Omada as a hybrid cloud with our hardware controller, or on-prem software, or full cloud controller with a yearly subscription of $10 per device. We also went over certain scenarios on how certain environments that Omada can be outfitted with. And you can find all these scenarios on our community page on our website at community.tp-link.com. But on the SDN side, back in July, we went through the AI roaming feature, fast roaming feature, also VLAN configurations to prioritize certain networks, network monitoring to quickly locate faults from live topology maps, that you could actually do PoE auto recovery or schedule a PoE for off-peak hours. So you can do a lot of different things on the Omada SDN. Kevin, do you have anything new that's up and coming on the platform right now?
Yeah, so on the Omada interface platform, we currently have a few new features being added. Of course, as Glenn just navigated to the next slide, we have our MSP mode being added at the moment. At the moment, it's currently on our software OS of Omada, but of course, we also have CLI upgrades, our Open API, also currently only on the software, IDS, IPS, And of course, as time goes on, we're going to continue to add more features. Our CLI is currently in our Armada system. However, we are continually to upgrade that and maximize the CLI configurations as well. But of course, that is in our roadmap, and when the time comes, it will be in our release notes, and everything will be followed up. And if on the cloud controller, it will be automatically updated as well.
Yeah. So like with IDS, what you mentioned earlier with IDS, and then also DPI, deep packing inspections, this will also be coming up within the Armada SDN. As you can see here, here's the latest roadmap for the SDN. As of right now, we're just done with SDN 5.13, right, Kevin?
Yeah, correct. So we just finished up with 5.13. We're going to be moving on to 5.14. The release date on that is currently not yet, announced. However, it is in our testing phase, and once everything has passed, we will be sure to give everyone a heads up on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one area that, if you notice on the 5.14, L3 switches. So that's going to be on topic later today.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So as you can see, TP-Link Armada is the complete solution with comprehensive product options, right? You have your three types of controllers, your on-prem, software, or hardware. You also have different types of access points from ceiling, wall, outdoor, even a wireless bridge coming soon, and high-density ceiling mounts that can support the 10G, 2.5 gigabit, and FE ports. We also are coming up with Wi-Fi 7 pretty soon, and as we have Wi-Fi 6, 6, and 5 and 4 available today. And then for the Armada switches, L3 is coming soon, L2 Plus and L2 managed switches are available. We'll go through that today, smart switches, and then our routers as well. So we also, and not to mention too, I love this little page right here because it gives you the idea of what accessories or products can be utilized with Armada, right? Other than the managed software, but you also have accessories and the easy unmanaged switches available too. So, moving with the gigabit network solution. So TP-Link Armada provides a full stack solution that supports the 2.5 and 10 gig. It can deliver a solution that future-proofs the customer's topology and is available today. So right now, currently, what we're showing you is our two available gateway routers. So the ER707M2, which is a dual core that supports up to 6 WAN ports and 1 USB WAN for mobile broadband. So it supports a USB LTE with failover support. And it has IPsec, WireGuard, SSL, OpenVPN, and is desktop well mountable. If you want to go 10 gig, it's the ER8411 for now. This one supports up to 10 WAN ports. It includes also USB WAN for mobile broadband, but this gives the ability as a quad-core CPU up to 11 WANs, and also includes the IPsec, WireGuard, SSL, VPNs. This is actually rack mountable, which is great. The two that are upcoming, there are two coming soon, are the ER7412M2, which it increases the processor from a dual core to quad core, and then the ER8411C-M2. This is actually a two-in-one. Oh, going back. This is actually a two-in-one unit that will have the gateway as well as the controller built in. And these will be coming soon in 2024. For the switches, we have about 9 active SKUs in the multi-gig that's available today. Full 10 gig, 10 gig copper with 10 gig fiber, 2.5 gig copper with 10 gig fiber, and full gigabit with 10 gig uplinks as well. And then coming soon in 2024 will be our layer 3, and we'll have more information on that in a few minutes as well. So what's available right now for the full 10 gig is our TLSX3016F. This carries up to dual redundancy power supply. So you have 2 backup power plugs.
Right. Yeah. So 2 backup power plugs.
And you can set that up on Armada to either failover or just set that. How does that carry over as far as you need to have both plugged in or?
So for the most part, both will be plugged in. Okay. So if one does fail, another one will take over.
Got it.
This will also be shown on Armada on the interface on the switch end. So if anything, any troubleshooting does need to happen, we can also see it through Armada remotely. For the most part, that is our dual redundant power supply. Nothing really fancy about it, just a big safety feature on the switch end.
Excellent, excellent. We also have the SX3008F, which is the 8-port version of the 16-port. Then we also have the 4-port, right? This one actually is the PoE++. So you have 200 watts, a full PoE power budget. But this is a great slot because it carries two 10 gig SFP plus slots as well and four 10 gig RG45 ports. And this is available today. We will have more coming soon. I think we have a 32 port coming in 2024. So that's something to look out for. For the, what is this one? The 2.5 with the 10 gig, we have an 8 port switch that has 8 2.5 gigs as well as two 10 gig SFP plus ports. This is actually a fairly new one too, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that is correct. So this is a fairly new switch as well. So for the most part, right now we're coming out with a lot of different switches, but definitely our primary focus at the moment, release-wise, is leaning towards our layer 3 switches.
Correct. So we do have 5 more switch available for this product line for the 2.5 with 10 gig uplinks, ranging from another 8 port switch all the way up to a 24 port switch with PoE++, as well as just standard without PoE. Also for the 24 port, we also have a full SFP 24 port switch. So if customers are looking for full fiber with SFP+, we have this available today. This has great, this also carries a redundant power supply, just like similar to the other switch that we presented earlier, and support up to 128 total gigabit speeds.
Right.
Yeah, so great robust unit. If you're looking for RJ45 10 gig uplinks, we have that as well. 2 versions, one PoE and one standard. This both carries 24 ports with standard gig and then 4 10 gig SFP plus. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Excellent. And then finally we have the 48 ports switches that carry, I think, the PoE side up to 500 watts PoE budget. So these are our standard units on the L2 plus managed switches. We do plan on having 2 more that support PoE++ to help enhance certain customers with certain security cameras or voice over IP that needs high power bandwidth for power. Now for layer 3 switches, which is coming really soon, right? We plan on having that December or January?
Right now I think we're moving towards January.
Yeah.
But if possible, as soon as possible would be great.
Yeah.
So
you have these tested right now in your testing lab right now, correct?
Yeah, correct. So these are in the final stages of our internal testing. If everything passes through our internal testing, then it will be released essentially to
public.
Everyone. Yeah.
Excellent. So we have 4 units right now on the L3 managed side. These will be stackable up to 4 stacks, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So up to 4 stacks, no issues.
Yes. 24 port, one with, one without PoE, 720 watts PoE budget, and then for the 48 port, up to 1440 watt PoE budget. So that's a really strong push. The one thing I do like about the 48 port switches that will have hot swappable fans,
right,
as well as power supplies too, right?
Right.
So we'll have those accessories for these kits to either hot swap these fans and power supplies if needed, and moving forward in the future for 2024. And so as you can see on our Armada switch side, we are slowly adding more value to our matrix. On the non-PoE and PoE, we're trying to grow more on the L2 managed access and L2 aggregation layer, and then slowly adapt to the L3 in 2024. On the access point side, TP-Link likes to be very proud to say we're the first vendor to release full home and enterprise Wi-Fi 7 products. We have 2 on the Armada side, EAP 783 and EAP 773. Both are tri-band. One supports up to 22 gigs and the second 11 gigabit, but both have 10 gig ports. The 783 has 2 10 gig ports, while the 773 has 1. Both carry really great power speeds. Can you share more on those speeds, Kevin?
So currently we are testing our Wi-Fi 7. It will be released in 2024 as expected, as Glenn mentioned. We are looking at a lot better speeds than what we have currently been seeing. But of course, as Glenn mentioned, the PoE++ is also being heavily utilized for our Wi-Fi 7 access points. So far, our speed is great, and then from there, we'll toss it out to the public and hear the feedback. But we don't want to give away too much, but as it comes out, you guys can go ahead and play around with it and then let us know your feedback. But we expect everyone to be satisfied with the results.
Correct. Right now, we're seeing about 4.8 times faster than Wi-Fi 6, about 46 gigabyte per second. Latency is pretty much nothing, right? And then with the 5 times network capacity, it shows great connectivity as far as proper throughput and just connecting to the web.
Right.
Awesome. So for our Armada access points, we have 5 right now APs that support the multi-gig solutions. We have obviously the 2 that we showed you, the 783, the 703, and Wi-Fi 7. But for the Wi-Fi 6, we have the 683LR long range that gives an AX6000 ceiling mount, 673, which is AX5400, and then the EAP 660 high density, which is the AX3600. These support 2.5 gig ports, and these are the 5 that are currently available to this day, and we'll have more in the near future.
Yes, we will definitely have more in the near future.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the next time we do another webinar, we'll have a few more SKUs on this.
Absolutely. So, I have plans for more SKUs. So also, I want to talk more on our TP-Link demo kit. So currently, we're offering a demo kit that provides dealers per location this one-time deal of 50% off of our Omada AX3000, Omada controller, and our TP-Link switch, the 2008P. These are NFR kits that you could test Omada, see how it fits in your lab and in your environment, and then utilize these products and source them through Microcom. So these are great products to actually test and utilize. And if you have any questions more on this, we could talk further, either reach out to me directly or reach out to a Microcom rep for any other questions. So right now, I can bring it back to you, Julie, for any questions.
Thank you so much, Glenn and Kevin. That was a wonderful presentation. We greatly appreciate it. And I know I'm speaking for everyone. So here we go. Let's start off with some questions here for you. First one, what industries or use cases is the Omada multi-gig solution particularly well suited for?
Great question.
That is a good question. In regards to industry, we do deploy in quite a few. We go from either high-end residential to multiple dwelling units to point of sale, education, hospitality.
Yeah.
We have, in a way, we have a different variety of different solutions for each person's use case. So the best way to put it would be, if anyone has any questions regarding what's best for their deployment, they can go ahead and shoot us an email. Or like Glenn said in the previous slide, our support is free. So reach out, set up the perfect environment for everyone, and then that way we can choose the best hardware and choose the best platform on Omada as well.
Yeah. Because overall, it's with fiber deployments, it can be tricky, but we want to create the best value environment for the customer. So yes, obviously, every deployment is different. Right now, like we have a few that are in the MDU and hospitality environments, but also education.
Right.
So a lot of schools that are deploying 10 gig or fiber deployments, especially for like security spaces for cameras, this is a perfect fit because now you have the ability to do certain combinations of VLAN configurations, set certain parameters on certain networks, channel management for APs, and have the environments of having like say indoor and outdoor access points availability on and managed throughout one network. So it gives you that value, especially with customers that are adding more to deploying to fiber deployments.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. And yeah, we do understand that each customer can have a completely different need that you can meet. So that's a great thing, and in various industries.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, here we go. Next question here for you. What level of customization is possible with the Omada multi-gig solution?
So when it comes to customization of the multi-gig solution, currently we can pretty much do anything on our switches that we currently offer on Omada. So of course, all the ports can be configured, the SSPs can be configured. This can all be seen on our interface as well. From there, we can configure our speeds on the ports as well, apply our VLANs, pretty much anything that you would ideally need in your networking situation, we can provide on the Omada interface. One thing to note is these switches that we're referring to have been adopted to Omada. However, the same can be said in the standalone mode as well.
Correct.
But out of our suggestions, of course, we really like the Omada interface and the Omada SDN platform, so we would definitely recommend getting these switches up and running on Omada.
Yeah.
But
you have the ability to do either or. So
yeah, either or. But customization wise, we hope it meets everyone's expectations, but we believe that pretty much anything that you would need on the networking standpoint would be able to be satisfied on the Omada SDN platform.
Yeah. And if you have any questions towards the environment, we're open to conversations and get your feedback and see what the next deployment on SDN will provide you guys.
Right.
So it's always changing. It's just what we see, what customers are looking for, and then what we can adapt and to help enhance it.
Excellent. Thank you guys for all of that great overview information, and that you're open to talking to anyone who reaches out for, all these different types of needs.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, terrific. Here we go. Next question. Can you tell us about what kind of monitoring and analytics tools are available with the Omada multi-gig solution?
Okay, so with the Omada multi-gig solution, of course, regarding the monitoring and managing and everything like that on the switch, Omada offers a variety of different troubleshooting tools that will help you manage your switch if anything goes wrong. Hopefully nothing does. But if something does happen, we always have the ability to access that switch either through our CLI, or we can go ahead and look through our logs. And of course, if any troubles happen on the logs end, you can export those logs, shoot it over to our free support engineers, and then of course they will be able to analyze that and help you guys troubleshoot through any troubles that is currently occurring.
Yep.
But other than that, we do have deep packet inspection. We do have our tools, which also does has access to the terminal, has our network checks for pretty much any troubleshooting needs that we have on the switch end. Same applies for actually the majority of our layer 2 switches as well. So we are basically moving all the troubleshooting tools that you currently see on Omada onto our layer 3 switches when they are going to be produced for the public as well.
Once they're deployed.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for that. And so just to further ask regarding technical support, obviously we can reach out to you guys, but also too, in addition to that, can anyone go to your website and find a lot of this information before they might know what they're doing or what they need, and even technical questions that someone may have? You guys are there available to be reached and to ask questions. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Our support page on our website gives you full content of Omada, as well as community guidelines, like either to community pages, case studies, everything you need to actually understand, even actually a simulation, right, on Omada?
Yeah, so we have a simulation on Omada. We also have our support pages, our FAQs, which that would be helpful for, I guess you can say, user-to-user interactions, where people have the same type of deployments and they can communicate with each other and help each other out. Yep. And of course, we have our ticketing system on our website as well. So that will go directly to our support team, and then from there, we will definitely respond as soon as possible through email or through the ticket itself.
Yeah, or if they really need to talk to somebody here at TP-Link, that one email, glenn.lenore@tplink-link.com, would be the fastest way to actually have communication and support. So that would probably be the most, overall, we could definitely get on a Teams call to just go over the environment and just listen to exactly what they need and recommend what we would offer for that particular solution.
That sounds really great, Glenn. So I'm free to give people your email address. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's right there. Absolutely.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Okay, couple more questions. Next one here. Are there any integration options with third-party security solutions or platforms?
Like for firewalls, I guess, for that, in a sense?
That sounds good.
So
yes.
I would feel, so that's a normal question that a lot of integrators ask on firewall support.
Mhm.
TP-Link is not a firewall provider, right? Because there's a lot. Firewall is a very important appliance for a lot of businesses.
Mm.
So that's a really important subject to entertain or enhance. I can tell you that we work with a lot of third-party security providers like Fortinet, Silver Peak, Sonic Wall.
Mhm.
Anyone else that you work with currently, Kevin?
We definitely do a lot of Fortinet and Sonic Wall.
Yeah.
I say those two for sure
Yeah.
are our two most popular
Mm-hmm.
firewall that we interact with.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we're not really, I guess, closed-minded to anything adapting to new firewalls, new
No.
networks as
Well,
well.
we're open to that, but as far as providing a solution or hardware for that, no, not at this time.
Yeah, not at this time,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
No problem. Thank you so much for that overview and answer. A couple
Yeah.
more questions for you before we end here. Let's see. Here we go. How does the solution handle quality of service (QoS) to prioritize critical applications and services?
So definitely a good question. We get that question quite a bit. So under our Omada interface, actually, we're able to manage, configure, and pretty much utilize QoS on our end on Omada. So underneath our configurations, we're able to do multiple different features such as bandwidth control, class rule, void prioritization, tag outbound traffic, and of course, if there's anything else any suggestions that anyone has on the QoS end as well, we are more than happy to add that into our Omada interface platform as well. So that is one thing I would say about QoS. At the moment, I guess as more background information is given on that specific deployment, we can determine what is actually needed for that specific use case as well. So as I guess Glenn mentioned earlier, everyone's deployment is a little bit different. Everyone approaches a network a little bit different as well. So we pretty much look at the requirements and adapt to what is given to us.
Correct.
Thank you so much for that. Next question here for you. Can you tell us a little bit about perhaps your closest competitors and maybe give us an overview of how you think TP-Link, is maybe compared to, like I said, some of your closest competitors?
So, Kevin, would you want to answer this one, or do you want me to answer this one?
I don't know, Glenn. I'll leave it up to you, and if anything is needed.
We like to. I mean, obviously, competition is great, but overall, we want to understand and learn more about what our customers are needing. Right? It's the support side. It's the product side too. Overall, competition is great, but we don't see it as winners or losers. We more look at as environments and support as everyday value for customers, right? We want to make sure that we touch and present the Omada solution to customers that are frustrated with certain hardware that is not meeting to expectations or product availability. We have the environment to support that. It may be similar to some, but we did that to help increase the comfort level. Because we're human, we're creature comforts. So what we're comfortable with, we like what we're comfortable with. So we try to do that to help support the environment of our consumers that want to utilize these environments, but also see how we could support better, how we could actually enhance more. So as you learn more about the Omada solution, you'll start seeing other products within the product that can branch off. Because obviously, we start adding more value in our TP-Link B2B brand that includes VG, as well as a new bridge kit for Omada. So there's going to be some new enhancements that will support it. But obviously, we don't look at it as more competition. We're just looking at more how can we support our customers and how can we give more value to the customers out there in the market.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And yes, we all know competition is good, and we all know that there are other companies, that do what you. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for that. That's kind of what we had in mind as well, in asking that question. Last question here for you. Can you give us an overview of where all TP-Link products are manufactured?
So currently we have, like I mentioned on the slides, we have 4 manufacturing plants.
Oh, okay.
3 are based in China, one's in Vietnam. The majority of B2B products will be in Vietnam.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for answering all of those questions for us today. And thank you to everyone who's attended today's webinar. And of course, if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please remember that this presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view it again. And obviously you can reach out to me and I could, give you Glenn and Kevin's email if anybody needs that, of course.
Yes.
We'll keep in touch with anyone who wants to talk to you guys about any of this. And again, thank you so much for taking the time and going over all of this with us today. And we'll be able to watch this webinar again on YouTube. So we will definitely do that. We always like to do that.
Thank you, Microcom.
Thank you, Microcom.
Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.